Well, I've been trying to get them on, give me like a net 90. Like they give me 90 days to pay my bill, which is nice.
Yeah.
Because, to pay, that much money, once a month, like that's a skid steer payment and insurance. And, as I started paying that $12.50 a month, I was like, damn, Cody was right. I could afford a skid steer right now.
Skid steer.
So I can't, I get my taxes back. Have my tax meeting in February, and I go to Tony's next week. So I'm gonna get it all budgeted in. I'm gonna get all my ducks in a row for this next year. So pretty excited about that. Okay.
What day is Tony's thing?
It's the 12th. No, the 13th and the 15th.
Is Clayton going with you?
Yeah.
Good.
I was excited.
He'll like that.
Have him go with me. So.
Yeah, I would like to go to a few more classes like that.
Cool. They're cool. And the Elliott group deal that popped up on my Facebook today, and I was like, you can go, but you're gonna get yelled at. And shit.
The LA group.
No, the Elliott.
Oh, yeah.
Elliott group, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't I learned a few things. Are we recording? Mm-hmm. Okay. I learned a few things there, but they wouldn't.
You don't want to say anything. You're like, he might come shoot you or something. I'm the best salesman. I'm the best salesman there ever is. I'll sell any car you got. You got a Mitsubishi 2004 with one door? I'll sell it to you.
I'm going to try to sell me a car right now. I'm going to give you some objections.
Okay. Give me an injection.
Sell the car.
Yeah.
Sell your truck.
What kind of car is it?
Sell your truck to him.
2004 Ford Ranger.
$170,000
it's got a dent in the door I'm concerned about. Because
Okay.
it's the Ranger in the spin.
Which side of the door? What door is it that has a dent?
Driver's door.
Driver's door. So what's your concern with that, sir?
It's got a dent in it.
Yeah, but like, what's it matter to you? Like, does it affect your personal appearance, or does it like cause the door to open and close? Like, what's wrong with it?
Oh yeah, I don't want my friends seeing that I got a dent in my door.
Okay, so what you need to do is go to your mom's closet and you pull out a big. You want to heat it up, and you'll pull it out.
Well, we got to restart.
we can bleep.
Can we?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure that out, I guess. Yeah.
Have you not seen that video? The guy, it's like on TikTok. The guy literally takes his big ass, and like the suction cup one, and he fucking puts it to it. And he just pulls the dent right out.
Really?
Brand new truck.
Oh,
so what's your objection?
I don't have one of those.
Okay, so there's a dent on the vehicle, right?
Okay.
You want to start over but you guys can bleep it out and have fresh content?
Just go for it.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, go for it.
He's the editor guy, so yeah.
It's a lot of work, but go for it.
Try to keep, like,
you'll be good.
Right here, Matt, does this sound good to you?
I don't have headphones in.
Oh, okay. They like do the whole thing. It's like, we can hear one word. I didn't press play. So
I'm watching it down.
Okay, so you gotta there's a dent in the vehicle, and you're worried about it, and you don't want to buy it because you think that your friends are gonna, it's an appearance thing, right?
Sure,
so,
and like, resale value.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but like out of everything, is that your only complaint about the vehicle?
Well, it's got 300,000 miles on it too.
You know what pussy you're gonna get at that truck? What do you mean 300,000 miles?
He's married.
See, what you're supposed to say, or what they taught us to say, was like, oh, that just means it's lost all of its depreciation. You're going to get exactly what you paid for back out of it in the future.
Yeah, can't go.
Really?
That's what.
Can't get any further than the bottom.
300,000 miles.
Yeah.
Also, you just gave him a bunch of objections. You listed a bunch of things that he could find wrong with it. He might not have even been thinking about those things.
Okay, then let's start over.
No, you don't get that choice.
Sure, no, sure. We'll start over. There's this retaining wall that I need built around my flower bed, but you're way too expensive.
Okay, well, have you got any other beds?
No.
Okay, well then, what are you comparing to?
Comparing to there's this
To what you want to spend?
Yeah, I don't want to spend that much.
You don't want to spend that much. Okay, well, sir, for this type of work, this is our price. Related to we're kind of a young company. No, it doesn't really matter young or old, but we have a lot of overhead, which isn't your problem, but I don't know.
It's a good thing I never tried to recruit you for sales or anything like that.
I'm not really in the mind here.
Here's all our fault.
Like I literally just, when I hang out with you guys, just joke around. So I'm trying to take this a little bit more.
How do you get customers?
How do I get customers?
Actually, first tell the people what you do for a living.
My name is Mitchell. This sounds really bad because they're going to listen to everything I just talked about.
No, we'll bleep that up.
Okay.
We'll get demonetized if we don't. So
demonetized. Like,
Yeah.
We can't make money if you say a lot of bad words in the first 2 minutes.
You could have to
you're
be
telling me there's people that listen to these podcasts before they go in there and they get paid for it?
I think it's like a AI thing that like recognizes them.
Okay.
I already got kicked off Instagram last night.
What?
So
You said it was a false thing.
they let us back on. I've kind of been cheating a little bit. I mean, it works. I go and follow a bunch of people.
don't try not to.
Yeah, don't.
They're fragile.
I go and I follow a bunch of people, and then I'm hoping to get follow backs. And so far, it's been kind of working. We'll get about 3 to 5% follow backs. And
you did that, man?
No, I haven't. It just sounded good.
That's bad. 3 to 5%. That sucks.
Yeah, but I got kicked off because I thought I was a robot. But we got it figured out.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but tell them what you do.
My name is Mitchell Roberts. So make sure you guys can hear me. I own a lawn care and landscape business. We do year-round lawn maintenance, landscape, hardscape installs, retaining walls, patios. We do it all. We really strive to make sure that you're getting the best quality work in the area. So yeah.
In what area? We're around.
So we're based out of Republic, Missouri, but we go, pretty much within an hour. Our lawn maintenance, we really try to stay within 14 to 16 miles around Springfield. We don't like to get too crazy and, go down to Branson to mow a yard or anything, which is kind of funny because we do. But they pay, for multiple things that we go down there for.
Well, you'll probably be doing that next summer whenever you get more yards in that direction, won't you?
Yeah. So the areas that we're really lacking in for like clientele base, in Republic, our town, which is about 5 minutes back to the east here, we have several accounts, and so it's really easy to be able to have a route rotation in this area because we're so heavily populated here. Mm-hmm. There's some areas of Springfield, like Fremont Hills, the east side of town, northeast side of Springfield. We're really trying to dominate those two areas and get more towards Nixa. There's a lot of work there. It's a really clean cut town. It's not as big as Springfield, so we know there's a lot of people needing our services in that area. We're just trying to grow in that area. So, yeah.
So basically anywhere like Southwest Missouri, they can give you a call and if they got a project or something, they can give you a call and you'll be more than happy to go look at it for them.
Yeah, we would love to do that. One of our vision and something that's really helped us out is creating these relationships with people who are in the area. And word of mouth has been a very, very good tactic in our business. Mm-hmm. So,
do you have any stories about relationships you built with customers that you had, or anything interesting like that that's happened?
Well, for any customer that will be listening to this, don't take us the wrong way, but some of our really good customers, we kind of set up in our CRM, and we'll send them like a Christmas present, or we find out what their birthday is, and we'll send them a birthday present.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. So, and I told you about that last year, and we did that.
How many of those do you think you put out?
Probably 3 or 4.
So really good customers.
Yeah. Like my goal is once I can kind of delegate and get more to the spot in my business to where, I can have like a customer relation officer in the company that's all they're, doing is dealing with customer service, making sure that if Debbie over here on Grand Street, if Debbie over here on Grand Street, her husband died 3 years ago. What are you laughing about? No, like, we're making
burped right in the camera.
They won't hear you.
That's what I've been doing.
Right in the middle of talking about how much you care about your customers.
No.
It's all right.
Some of these
he
people,
giggled. I was trying to hold it in. He giggled, and then I lost.
Some of these people are going to be audio only too, so they're just going to hear.
Just burped right in their ear.
I'll be right back. I just shit myself. No, but anyways,
get back to your loyal customers.
Listen, we're all human. It's all right. Excuse me. Sorry. Anyway, it's Matt's fault. He should have patted me on the back, burped me earlier before we started. But anyway, so one thing about it is, Debbie on Grand Street, her husband died 3 years ago. We knew him. He took good care of us. He gave the guys and everybody that did any work on his property water or Gatorade, took good care of us. They're always callback customers. So we're going to make sure that, Debbie's going to get flowers or a card or some type of gift on that day, and what I really want to get across to people is we're not doing this just because, we want, or how do I say that? We're not doing that just to kind of keep keep spending money with us. No, like we actually care, a lot of my guys, we did a project for a couple. I can't remember the wife's name, because we didn't really talk to her a lot, but the husband's name was Ron, and Ron was an older gentleman, and he would always come out and check on us when we were doing that project. And that was the first project I really gave Clayton, to really manage, and because there was nothing on that job that he hasn't already done. So it was really important, like, hey, this is all yours, make it look good. Here's the design on it. So Ron kept coming out, but Clayton was sitting there playing my role of things. He was sitting there, giving Ron a hard time, joking around. Obviously he was professional, but he was just.
Well, Clayton seems like a really good worker for you.
Yeah, he's great. He does a lot of stuff in the company. There's probably some days I might come pick him up, and then at that point someone else will be in charge, as me and Clayton would go do things for more work along the way. So I like using the time for me and Clayton to get away, so I can go show him, present him these new jobs that we're going to be doing. So when the time comes, I don't have 5 guys waiting on me while me and Clayton are trying to figure out what's going to go with the job. We can get there, and he already knows what to get done before the guys get there.
Gotcha.
So
how did it all start? You were in high school, right? You were just decided to start mowing yards?
Like before high school. I started when I was 9.
9.
Seriously, I started when I was 9.
I don't think I know if I could reach a mower.
Yeah, well, I was a 300-pound 9-year-old, so yeah, I got to do a lot. I got to sit in the front seat. So the front seat of my mom's car. Everybody else was still in the car seat. I was in the front seat. I hit the weight limit, age 9.
Give us a timeline. How?
I'll tell you the story, but I got one question. Am I supposed to look at you guys? Or am I supposed to?
Yeah, we're having a conversation. These people are just here.
Them.
They're just a fly on the wall.
The problem is, this counter doesn't have a lip on the other side.
Yeah, ideally we would have people on each side and then a
really
camera looking at us sideways, so we'd be looking like we're at a date,
Yeah. I have a really good solution for this. Do you have a skill saw by chance?
Cut out the cabinets over there.
That ain't going to help us at all.
Why?
Then we won't have a ledge over here.
The other side doesn't have any space under here. It's just cabinets.
Oh.
So it'd be kind of.
I would love to be able to scoot back a little bit.
You can.
But
you can scoot
You'll
back
drop
all
off
you
the
want.
cliff, but
okay.
scoot back.
That'd be fun.
Just be sure to bring your microphone. No, you're gonna fall over.
You think so?
You go, do whatever you want. Whatever
You're right on the edge.
Why don't you take a sawzall and run it sideways?
There's ductwork.
I'm gonna pee real quick.
There's ductwork underneath the bottom of this, and it's right in the way of where I can jack that back up. If you can't tell, my floor's got a little divot in it. Hurry up, Mitchell. But Mitchell just went to go take a bathroom break, so it's just me and Matt here.
Who knows? We might keep this in. We might cut it out. Who knows?
25 days ago.
It took us. Mitchell just yelled at us from the background. If
You might have been able to hear it.
Oh God, Mitchell, keep it down.
Close the door. This is a high dollar production.
Matt has spent the past few hours trying to get these microphones set up.
5 hours last night.
Yeah, but it seems to be.
We're limping right now with the Bluetooth headphones hooked up.
You should see the amount of wires we got rigged up behind
We
here.
have a desktop computer on the floor at my feet right now that none of you can see.
I can see it.
Yeah, Mitchell said he can see it.
Get buttoned up before you come back.
Getting buttoned up.
Did I tell you about the time I was in St. Louis?
Tell it to the fans.
Get in the microphone.
So I was at this casino in St. Louis, and this guy was sitting there just tweaking out. I didn't really, just kind of ignored him, whatever. And so I'm walking out of the bathroom. My buddies from Kentucky were there because we went to the Cardinals game, and I was butting my pants up. I had been drinking. We were winning all kinds of money at the casino. And so I'm sitting there buckling up my pants, putting my belt together and stuff. Like, everything's zipped up, buttoned up. I'm just putting my belt together. Mm-hmm. This guy's like, "What you doing walking at?" He kept calling me, "You're gay, you're gay." And I was like, "What? What?" And I didn't want to say anything because, like...
You're scared?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's me.
How did he know?
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, so I was buckling up my pants, and I mean, I would say the whole thing, but I'm on this podcast.
That's right. Just tell it, and we'll decide whether or not we can get rid of it.
I mean, he was like,
that'll come out.
I mean,
you know how hard it is to edit stuff out,
dude. I'm being serious. That guy literally walked up to me. He's like seriously going off on me. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
I got this notepad over here for when I know I have to go back and look at something at a certain time.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. But anyways, that's what he was saying, and I was like, oh, what do I do? Like, I'm in the east side of St. Louis at a casino, kind of drunk. I got my lady with me, and we're just like completely just like out of place. Yeah, I'm back.
It can go forward over here.
Yeah, it'll go pretty much wherever you want it.
So
you can lean back, It's pretty versatile.
Okay, so you guys want to hear my story, how I got started?
Yeah.
So I really did start when I was 9. So Mr. Kirshner, I was thinking about this today because I was filling out some paperwork for Tony's deal, and he asked you like how you get started. Well, Mr. Kirshner was my 4th grade teacher, but I was in 3rd grade when I realized I knew Mr. Kirshner was a 4th grade teacher. Is at McCullough. Mm-hmm. McCullough. So anyway, so I was 3rd grade, but I didn't know he was my neighbor for the longest time. It was just a rental house behind me. And so one day I was mowing my mom's yard because Mom told me when I was 9 I could start mowing the yard. And I was so excited. It's my mom's John Deere rider. And we have Mom's house is like an acre. So I would mow it every summer, every week, whatnot. And Mr. Kirshner walked over. He said, "Hey, Mitchell," and I knew of him. Anyway, so I started mowing his yard. And then the old boy next to him, he was an older gentleman, but he knew my grandpa because I grew up in the house that my grandpa raised my mom in.
Gotcha.
And so I was mowing for him. And what was really cool, and there's not a lot of it out there today, but like these older people that I do work for, they'll write me, they send me an invoice with a check. They'll literally write me a letter like, "Thank you so much for being so good," or "Thank you for your hard work." And
that feels good.
And it feels good, but there's that's gone away. It's only older people that I get those letters from.
Yeah, they just don't appreciate it as much.
Well,
Younger people,
they might, but they don't realize that those little things mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
I wrote you a letter last week. You didn't get it?
I did. I had to burn it last night. My girlfriend found it. Who the hell's Matt? I was like, it's a dude. Jake from State Farm. No. So, but anyways, but I guess it'd be Matt from FM, or Teton.
All the above.
Yeah. So, anyways, back to my story. So, we started mowing for this older gentleman. Well, he went to the retirement home, but he still owned the house. And his wife was going back and forth from visiting him, going back and forth. So I was still taking care of it. And he was still writing me letters, paying me every week. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool. I was getting like $45 a week.
Big money.
Yeah. So
Big money.
Yeah. Thanks, Mom, for paying for my gas and the lawnmower. So at that point, I had no overhead. But
we'll send you that clip to give your mom.
Yeah. She's like, "Here's a bill." I'm like, huh. But anyways, so I was mowing for him, and then Lisa down the street, she lived in a duplex, mm-hmm. and I was like, this was the next summer. I was probably 10, and I was literally. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. Sorry. I was 10 and I got all A's on my report card.
No way.
I swear.
Yeah.
I swear. I learned how to write my name in cursive. We got an A on that. Mom and I were driving around at garage sailing, and there was a push mower, a pressure washer, and a Murray weed eater. And the guy wanted like $200. My mom talked him down to like $180. Mm-hmm. And Mom had bought all that stuff for me for getting all my A's, because normally she would give me money for getting good grades. It wasn't much.
Gotcha.
But she knew that getting a push mower and a weed eater is what I needed because I didn't own a weed eater before then. I was literally just mowing as close as I could get. It was 9. I didn't need to have a weed eater.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's probably a good skill. But anyways, so we were get to doing that, and I got the push mowing. Well, I would literally walk from my house to Lisa's house, which was like 2 or 3 blocks away, and I'd put the weed eater up on the push mower, and I would use a broom. I didn't have a blower.
Oh, really?
So I would literally broom off the driveways and
Screw that.
do what?
Screw that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, especially in the spring when it sticks to the driveways real heavily, it was kind of a pain. And my mom would come over and sit and watch me until I got every blade of grass on there. Yeah, but she was just looking out for my best interest. But anyway, so I would do that. And I always thought that Kevin, my stepdad, would get mad if I drove the lawnmower all the way over there instead of just pushed over there. Well, I knew he didn't get off till 3:30, so I would try to get over there before Dad would drive by.
Wait.
What?
He would rather you push the riding mower over there?
No, push the push mower over there.
So how are you riding the push mower over there?
No. Like, because I had a push mower from the garage sale,
Uh-huh.
and then I also had the John Deere.
Oh, gotcha.
So he would be like, "Well, Mom just bought you this. Like, you don't need to ride the lawnmower over there."
Gotcha.
So, anyways, but my grandma, she lived right up the street from us, and it was off of West Street in Republic. So Grandma would drive by, and Mom was scared that either Kevin or my grandma was going to see me driving the John Deere down the road or whatever and get in trouble. Well, long story short, I turned. It was about, and he ended up not even caring. My mom just didn't know that if it was going to piss him off or not. But anyways. At that point, my grandpa, once he got out of mowing, because he actually owned a mowing business, and I would go help him mow.
Your grandpa did?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He had like
around here?
He had like 18 yards, yeah, like Springfield, Battlefield, maybe a couple in Republic, but
just enough to keep him busy.
Yeah, he did that, and he put up Murney signs and so on. But anyways,
he put up Murney signs.
Yeah.
Like realtors would go pay him to set up signs and stuff?
Yeah.
Like just the ones that sit in people's yards?
Yeah.
So like after you'd mow a yard, sign.
No.
For sale now.
I guess I forgot.
Yeah, send the check to me. But just smart. I mean, he did die a millionaire. Just kidding. Because I didn't get nothing. But anyways.
Okay, this is going down a rabbit hole.
Anyways.
Get it out. Get it out.
So anyways. Well, my grandpa got out of the mowing business, and he had a trailer. You know my little trailer. It's a 10x6. But it was made by a shop class, and my grandpa had paid the shop class obviously for everything. But
the students didn't get a dime of it.
No.
Slave labor.
Yeah,
It really kind of is what it is.
How do you think them shop teachers make so much money?
When we have Cutler on here in a few weeks, we're gonna ask him all about it.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't work for them anymore, so he can
spill the beans.
Yeah, can you believe Mr. Cutler's coming on?
Yeah. He's like, FBI knocks on the door, like, don't tell him everything. But anyways, so when I was about 13 or 14, when my grandpa had let me start using his trailer, because I was starting to get yards. Like, I had a yard on Lee Street, which is about 5 minutes across town, like across 60. Mm-hmm. I had one over there by the elementary schools, where I couldn't drive these mowers, or I couldn't drive my mower over there. My mom's mower, sorry. But, so my grandpa let me use his trailer. Well, he ended up giving it to me when he passed away. Mm-hmm. But anyways, my dad would hook onto the trailer for him. Like, he would hook onto the trailer. We'd get it all hooked up, and he would drive me to these yards. And I only had 2 where I had to drive, but I had 4 around his house. So he would only have to take me to 2, and he would just sit on the back of the truck, and he wouldn't really help me or anything, which is fine. Like, I appreciate it to this day. That he was laughing as I was struggling to weed eat or whatever, or broom the driveway for 30 minutes. But, I mean, we had to get it done. So he would drive me around. And then when I turned 16, I was obviously, I had some type of clientele base. And I was at like 10 yards, 12 yards when I was 16. And I would drive around. But I want to tell you, I want to go back a little bit and explain something real quick. When I was 9 or 10 trying to get more yards, we were using, like the cheap, like Walmart signs that you can just like draw whatever. Yeah. So my mom and I would literally use Sharpie, and we would write "No Mow Worries" and my mom's phone number on the side, and then we.
Is that how you got the name for it? I guess.
Yeah, and we would saran wrap. We would use saran wrap.
To keep the signs protected.
Yeah, and we'd
Really?
stick them. We'd stick them out in the yards, and so we
Who
would.
came up with the name? You or your
My
mom?
mom. She came home. She's like,
She's
this.
gonna cash in on that one.
Yeah.
It's on it.
Respect. Did you trademark that name?
Yeah. She's like, I got a patent on that.
No Mow Worries. I'm trying to do some advertising for you here. I'll just
No Mow
What's your phone
Worries.
417-655.
Somewhere up here, maybe I'll figure out how to put like a graphic of your business
And
card. or
ladies,
something.
this is also his personal phone number. So
I got a girlfriend, Macy. He said it, not me.
just in case they ever break up.
655-0380. No,
if
but
you live within 15 minutes of Springfield, Missouri.
If you live in the United States.
shit. Don't even get me started about our Florida trip, Cody.
No.
Anyways, Florida.
I'll tell you in a little bit.
Anyways, you were.
Wait, what about you guys went to Arizona?
Yeah, but
Yeah, we went there.
but we didn't, it was so hot there. We didn't want to do anything like we did in Florida.
Yeah, we were in Arizona for like 12 hours,
Yeah.
maybe.
You went to that one
And then-
guy's scam conference?
No,
we
it
paid-
wasn't a
Scam
I don't-
conference?
I don't think it was a scam.
We paid $1,600 to watch people jump around like it was a circus. I mean,
What?
we learned
It was.
we learned a little bit, but it was like mostly for like realtors, like car
It was
salesmen.
really car salesman. It was like really. You had sales breath if you were there. It was just kind of a sleazy thing they had going on.
But
But
people's cool cars parked out front. I remember you said
there was cool cars parked up front.
They didn't know that we used our private plane out of Springfield National Airport to get there. So
Yep. What was it? What do we call that? Frontier?
Did you ever end up?
Allegiant? No, screw Frontier. They're like, okay, yeah, we're gonna give you these super cheap tickets.
And then cancel your flight.
No, they're
that's
gonna-
happening.
Then they'll charge you for
Colorado.
the seat.
Yeah, you get the seat, the peanuts, the water, and
Bullets holding the seat down.
my card.
Oxygen while you're on the plane.
My card declined for a $3 bottle of water this big.
Hey, I don't think you should say that on camera. That's
No,
embarrassing.
like you literally use every single one of my cards. Like none of them worked,
No.
and I was like, probably because we're 6,000 million feet up in the air.
6,000 million square feet up.
Sorry,
in
I've been
TikTok.
I was just bidding some jobs, you know. But okay, I'm gonna finish my story so it's not all
go
long
ahead.
and drawn out. So, anyways, I'm 16. I got 10, 12 yards around the area. All I know is kind of what my dad's taught me and what I've learned not to do. There was a lot of scalping that went on, and I do apologize for those customers that happened at. But grass always grows back normally. So
Unless you kill it, I
I'm
guess.
16. And it's kind of sad. And on my dad's side, his dad was actually like, he was how do I say this? He was dying. He had like 3 months. He had leukemia, I think it was. So my dad he'd always come home and he would grab his truck, get out of his work truck, and he'd go up and see his dad every day. Well, it was actually Kevin's birthday, and I was at the neighbor's house mowing his yard, and I'm just mowing, trying to get stuff done, make a little bit of money, and I hit a stump. Hit a stump, yeah, and so my mom's John Deere was now at the point stuck.
Did it
In
mess
the
up
stuff.
the deck or anything?
Oh, so bad. Like I probably paid like $160, and at that time that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I was driving back to this place in Billings, and he was trying to level the deck and fix it and put new blades on it and everything. It never cut right again. Well, at this point, Dad was on his way home, but my mom had one of her friends come try to help me get this mower unstuck. And Lori, if you're listening, thank you for your help. But why, Mom, would you send me Lori? I mean, or not Lori, but like, you might want to edit that out. That sounds bad. But, really, and all the females out there, don't take any offense, but my mower was stuck. Like, it was going to take a big man to help me lift this up. I'm 16. I'm 300 pounds. I'm just kidding. But, okay. But anyways, so, and Dad comes home. He's all pissed off, and tensions are high. So, but anyways, so I turned 17. And at this point, I have an employee, Landon. He worked for me for probably, he still does work with me or for me today.
If you can get him back. You need to have him back. He seems like
he wants
really knows
$300,000 a year.
Pay it.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? What will he make you?
Well, here's the deal.
50,000.
No, Landon's he's a really good hand. Very smart. He can fix or work on anything. He doesn't get really upset, so he has kind of like a really he can be calm or he can be pissed, but he can be calm. And so something breaks. Landon was with me. I had a Raptor lawnmower I bought from Lowe's.
I remember that thing.
Yeah, I had it for 3 years, and we definitely got our money's worth out of it. I changed so many brackets on. Like I would literally, it's a school night, 11 o'clock, midnight, it's all torn apart in my house or at night in the living room. No, but in the garage, and I'm just like changing the brackets because they had broke. It was a residential mower. And we were using it commercially.
My Hustler did that same thing. Like the brackets that hold the drive motors on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All 4 of mine cracked. I had to rebuild all
So did they crack and did your tire fall off?
Not completely, no.
Let me tell you this. I was literally driving or mowing a yard and Landon was weed eating. And I go to turn around and my whole tire and brackets and everything falls off. At this point I have a 3-wheeled lawnmower. And so
Did it work?
No. I had this socket set in my truck and we took it all the brackets and everything apart and we took everything over to Landon's shop and he grinded it, welded it, put it all back together. We literally took it back to the house, jacked it up, put everything back together, and we just kept mowing. I mean, we were behind 2 hours that day. It was after school, but
yeah.
And I remember, we would get so behind mowing because of the rain in the spring and so on. I'd call my mom in the bathroom at the high school and be like, "Mom, I need you to call me out. We're so behind. There's more rain coming."
That explains it. Huh? That explains it. Your education was.
That explains the mowing business and the education all there.
Yeah. It was worth it.
Mowing business is good. The education.
I got out of English and I wish I would have stayed in it a little bit more.
Same.
I'm like, "Hey Siri, how do you spell beautiful?"
I remember from you ever seen Bruce Almighty, that Jim Carrey movie? He goes, beautiful in that movie, and I think that every time I try to spell that.
See, that's how me and my mom, when I have spelling tests and stuff come up, my mom, if I couldn't get a word, she'd come up with the song. She's like,
phonetic, yeah.
She's like, diaper. DIPER.
You spelled it wrong.
Did I spell it wrong?
DIAPER.
Oh, diaper.
Yeah,
okay.
that's it.
Yeah. See, that's why I'm better at writing things.
Yeah.
I can't really say it.
That's okay. I posted 3 TikToks and all of them had misspelled words.
I can't believe I let him post things.
I spelled money wrong.
Grammarly. What?
I know how to spell money.
You spell it Monday?
Money. I spelled
Money.
Yeah,
it was
how did you spell it?
It was MONY.
He did. I didn't even see that one. But he goes, "What did you said something or else?" But he said or ELES
and then
LS.
And then I was doing podcast and I put a space in between pod and cast. And apparently it's all one word.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
Hey, Grammarly works very good.
What is it? I've heard of that.
They might advertise on there.
That'd be $100,000. You're welcome.
Yeah.
No, but I seriously,
shit.
I use Grammarly. So when I do post on Facebook and stuff, I don't have a secretary right now. Or I have my media guy, but he doesn't do my Facebook post. Mm-hmm. He helps me though on I'll send it to him before I post it. He's like, "Yeah, it looks good. Post it." But instead of asking my mom, "Hey, we get on my Facebook and see if everything looks right," I'd have Grammarly, and it literally helps me with everything.
Okay, I was thinking something else.
So
I was thinking it was
software.
I was thinking it was one of those games that you.
That teaches you.
Oh.
Yeah. He's saying it helps him proofread.
Yeah, that's smart. I send it to Matt, and then he makes fun of me, and then usually corrects it. So.
Or after you posted it.
Yeah, and then
screenshot it, send it to him, and be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
I got another question for you. Off topic. How are you so good at talking to people?
How am I so good? Dude, I just like having a relationship. A lot of people don't really, I don't know how to really say this, but a lot of people don't really care. If you're in public and you're next to someone on a bus and you're going to be next to someone on a bus or a plane for a couple hours, why not talk to them? Be like, "Hey, how's your day going?" You can't just sit there your whole life and just wonder, what it would be like if you did talk to
Well,
somebody.
I think it's amazing how comfortable you are in every situation whenever it comes to social. In
I
every
just-
social
I don't
situation,
care.
you are comfortable.
One time, I remember we were in that line outside that bar downtown Springfield, and you were like, "Hey, watch this." He just turned around to the people behind us, strikes up a conversation so good, the guy invites us back to his house to have an after party.
Yeah.
Oh, the Indian dude.
Yeah.
I just took him off TikTok
He goes,
or Insta or
Why?
Snapchat.
All right, if this is about to get racist, stop.
No, and he's a cool guy. Just like I didn't ever talk to him, so I didn't really need him.
that's how you're supposed to do it, Cody.
I think him and I like split like a whole pack of cigarettes waiting outside freezer.
I forgot it.
Hey, but what's funny about that night is me and Braden were actually talking about that. That's the night I walked to his apartment. I just called him. I was like, "Hey,"
I forgot he was there.
I was like, "Hey, I'm downstairs," and he's like, "What?" And it was like midnight, 1:00, and you guys were going home, and I was like, "I ain't stopping partying now."
Yeah.
And then I didn't go to bed till like 3:00 that morning, and it was awful. Yeah.
You mow a lot of yards
But
the next day.
there's got to be. I believe there's like a system and process to everything. And there's something you do.
Yeah, there has to be. You may not think about it because it may have been something you've been doing your whole life.
And it's not just you being comfortable. Everyone around you, like whenever you're around, I feel like it's easy to talk to you about something. It's easy to strike up a conversation with you. So it's you've got some kind of vibe that you somehow.
You're probably
I don't know what
the
it is.
best at talking to strangers of any person I've ever seen.
That's what I tell him all the time. I'm like, he
But-
needs to
and that's
be in
valuable.
some
But
type
listen,
of sales,
But listen,
sales or something.
my
like that.
biggest, a lot of people can say it, but I live it. So
Oh,
no, but
that's a soundbite right there.
no, but seriously, but like a lot of people can say it, but I live it. Tomorrow's not promised. So if you're sitting there in line and you're like, man, I'm kind of bored, like we're just sitting here kind of awkwardly, it's like, hey man, how you doing? Ready to get in there and get some drinks. I mean, I really can't like do it on command or whatever. Like I can't like practice it, but it's like.
I think you could do it on command.
I mean, probably.
Well, it
like,
just comes
I can sit there and
natural,
talk
so
to
he
that
doesn't realize
refrigerator.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
why can't you make ice, you asshole?
It's not. I ain't got the.
Why
hooked up.
didn't you plug yourself in?
Okay, you try to pull that thing out and squeeze behind.
Did
it,
you say it's
I-
like a solid pipe for the water?
Yeah,
Like, you
I gotta
can't-
get like a rubber fitting or some kind of plastic pipe to go.
Just
with it.
hook it up to your toilet.
But if you pull the refrigerator out, it hits the oven, and you can like barely shimmy. I can barely shimmy through there and get it. But if I hooked it up, I wouldn't be able to get.
Why
Back
don't you just
out.
knock that wall out and move that way?
I'm not really all that concerned about ice. I don't
You don't
drink
like cold water?
anyways.
You don't like ice in your milk?
No, my brother
drinks-
does that. My brother
Cody
does.
drinks more
Ice
milk
in your
than
milk?
any person I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's good for you.
He'll drink
That's
like
why
a
I got-
gallon of milk every 2 days.
So I
I'm
got
pretty
these
sure.
strong bones.
Strong bones.
The bones.
You're also probably one of the skinniest people I know.
Yeah, let's just insult me.
Matt, that's not nice.
I said you got strong bones.
Chris. Did you?
You're not. You're not that skinny. I've
Thanks.
seen skinnier.
I guess it's better than calling me fat. So I'd rather be skinny than
Really?
orange.
I'd rather be fat than skinny.
Well, I can tell.
Fuck you.
Okay, anyways.
I'm big bone. My mom always said.
yeah.
It's not my fault. Moon pies are good.
Okay, so if you had advice, knowing what you know now, like you've been in business for what, 6-7 years? You may have already covered this.
Yeah.
You said since I can't do math since
For
8th grade.
I mean, you could say 9, but like I mean,
really in business, like
really in business.
Legal
Like I didn't
business.
get my LLC until 2020.
sure. But when was it like
That-
you relied on it as an income?
I'm gonna
like
say
after high school.
Probably 16 because like I was working at Hy-Vee, the grocery store, or whatever. But like I had quit because I was making more on the mowing, and I knew it was like there was more to be made,
Gotcha.
and I had to drive all the way to Springfield every day. So ask me your question.
Ask
Oh,
you a
oh, so-
question.
okay.
No, you asked a question.
Oh, so 16? Yeah, I would say 16 because I got my first employee when I was 17.
But that wasn't the question. The question was what? Well, I didn't.
Yeah,
finish
you
it.
didn't finish.
What was the like? You've been doing this since you were 16. You have 5 guys, 6 guys,
five
That's a
and
good
a
restaurant.
half.
5 guys,
They got good fries.
3 trucks, 3 trucks,
3 trucks.
several trailers, several mowers, several crews, a lot of yards, a lot of landscape jobs. Like you've got it. You're starting to get it figured out, I believe. Like what do you say to the high school kid now, or just the average person who's trying to start a landscape and lawn care company?
So
Like how can they skip some steps and get to where you're at now?
I'm gonna start with probably if you've already if you're already out of high school, and you're wanting to, get into it and start, I think really the most important step is figuring out your market. So you also have to be confident. Like, it's one of those things where, when I was younger, I didn't really care that too much about if there was like a bunch of other companies in the area, because you drive around everywhere in the spring and the summer, you see mowing, like guys mowing everywhere. But you also see, all kinds of pest control companies or all kinds of gas stations and banks. Like, there's a bunch of different brands everywhere. But how are you going to be different? Well, when I was younger, and when I was in high school, I wasn't paying attention to that. Like, I was making money. I could do all I could do with the equipment I had. Now, sure, there was some contracts, which I didn't know what a contract was in high school, but you know what I mean? Like, pretty much, what you got to think about is, how are you going to be beneficial? How is it going to benefit you? Because if you're going and you're just starting out and you're just charging $20 just to kind of get some type of money, which is, I get, because you don't really know your numbers, but figure out how to learn your numbers first. If you don't know your numbers, you have nothing to compare to.
Well, and honestly, like, I'd been doing business for several years too, and then we went to that class, and I didn't understand my numbers either until we went to the class, and I was like, holy cow, yeah, this actually makes sense. How you can deduct all these things and where this cost goes, and then at the end of it, that's your profit, and it shows you how to charge.
You guys didn't really tell what program, whose class it was.
It was Tony Bass in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And it's a 2.5 day, 3 day class. And, I'm going to tell you how much it costs, because you need to know. It was almost $4,000. But it
was a good class. It was worth it.
Yeah, it was $4,000. But I'm telling you, we after going to that class, just this year, in 1 year, we've done 400% more in gross revenue than we did last year.
And now you actually have profit versus just kind of guessing.
Yeah, well, just going to the gas station and be like, hey, how much you mowing for?
Yeah.
$30 a yard. Well, we're going to do 32. It's like...
It's like a race to the bottom.
Yeah, it's literally right. Because those guys that are doing $30 a yard, most of the time have been mowing for 20 years, 30 years, or however long they've been mowing. Like, yeah, we just kind of do what everybody else does. But they've been in the same truck. They're the one doing all the work, and it's like
not growing at all.
Not growing at all.
Not doing it legally.
Now, if that's how if that's how you want to do it, that's fine. I mean, that's totally fine. Like, if you just care, okay, you're making $600-$700 a week. And that's how, you're probably doing, $1,200-$1,300 a week or whatever, but you're bringing home $600-$700. That's good, but that's a job.
Yeah, but what people don't realize is that once they deduct, hey, this truck is actually costing me $12 an hour in maintenance and fuel and depreciation, they're not actually making any money because they don't know their numbers.
But they don't, but they don't care.
They don't know.
But also, if they were educated, they would know. But that's also a thing, is that generation of those type of people, even if it's a generational thing or just a group of people like that, they're so well, we know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 20 years. So they're not going to listen to any, I'm 22. I've talked to several guys that are 30, 40, 50 years old, and they're in the mowing business, and we do more than them. And it's not even me being like, hey, we do more than you and I'm 22. It's like, hey, I've learned this at a very young age, and it has worked very good for us by high-end individuals that didn't learn this till they were 40, and now look what they're doing in that time frame. And from 21 to 22, we've went up 400% in revenue. Now I'm going to tell you this: I got taxes coming up, so that's going to be really scary.
If you owe taxes, that means you made money, so that's a good thing. As long as it's accounted for and you know how much it's going to be.
I know that it's going to be pretty high, so I may not be in the United States very much longer. But,
get out of here.
Where might you be going?
Huh?
Yeah, what exact place? Where would you be going?
Where's your mom live again? No, but
don't get me started, old Becky.
But you better delete that. No one needs to know my mama's name. But so, anyways, but for that high school kid, if that's what you need to do for extra money, That's fine. But just don't take advantage of the market. You need to be charging, obviously, what you're worth, but you also need to be charging what you need to make. So,
well, how do you value what you're worth? Like, I hear people say that all the time. Like, what's that mean?
So, if you're doing like little things, like when I was using a push broom instead of a backpack blower to clean off driveways and sidewalks and porches and stuff, I didn't really know what I was like. I guess I'm 10, 11, 12 years old, so I guess I'm not worth a whole lot. But it's that sweat equity. When everybody else is around you doing $45 to $50 a yard in a pretty suburb area, and you're only charging $25, $30, you're A, not making any money. B, you're hurting the market and you're hurting yourself. So.
What would you? Sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to say this because I feel like people are gonna be like, "Oh, I make money. I actually still make money doing this. You're just charging too much." Is a word of advice just like, guys, actually go check your numbers and see where you're at, versus just thinking you're making money, because business is hard anyways. So if you actually go and punch the numbers and do all the correct accounting to get it, you'll end up better in the long run.
It's super easy for people to not realize what things actually cost them.
Yeah.
Like whenever we were selling some materials, I thought I was making money on it. We did the math on it, and I was like, some of the materials I was selling, I was losing money on them, and we upped the prices, and it's amazing whenever you up your prices. We did it, and people still bought. They were like, oh wow, that's kind of gone up a little, and they still bought. I was like, man, if I would have just raised these prices
so much longer ago,
earlier, I would have made so much.
What's the name of that book that you said that's in that you keep telling me to read?
If I can recommend one book, it's $100 Million Offers. I know I talk about Alex Hormozy all the time.
No, here it goes.
You got it. This guy's got some good.
You guys can't see,
content.
but Cody's pants is moving over here.
No. He's got some good content, and you still haven't read the book, and I've told you how many
I will read it.
I finally gave it to him, and he still hasn't read it.
I'll read it. Give it to me.
It's 99 cents.
Okay, I'll read it. But I'm going to go back to the material thing. Today, I actually had a customer of mine. I had gave him a bid earlier in the year, but he didn't end up taking it. He's moving back from California. He's moved from California to Missouri, so he already was dealing with a lot or whatever. Long story short, he called me today, and he's like, "Hey, you had a really good customer service last time I talked to you, even though we didn't choose to go with you. But we need some landscaping now. We need some mulch. We need some shrubbery. We need a flower bed built, so on and so forth." And I went to the property when I did go this summer, and it's in rough shape. So there's a lot of work to be done. But he's like, so Mitch, let me ask you, what do you get mulch for? Do you get pretty cheap? And normally when I hear that stuff, I'm just like, I roll my eyes because it's like, if you think that you're going to get this done for $500, you might as well call the next guy, because it's not going to be $500. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, well, dude, it's just like planting like 4 shrubs and putting in some mulch, but it's like, okay, well, let me give you a little bit of talk about that. So even though your mulch is going to cost you, I mean, where I buy my mulch it's $20 a yard.
Hear that?
Versus like you go to like a supplier, and I love all the suppliers I go to. So if you guys are hearing this, understand that when I'm buying bulk material and I know where you get it from, I'm going to probably go get it cheaper. And except when it was Cody's case, because he was getting.
Well, you thought you knew.
Yeah, I thought I knew.
Know, but
he was selling it to me $15 higher than I could have got it.
The supplier I was buying it from, you were like talking big crap on. You're like, oh, their product's nothing, but your stuff's really good. And I was like,
well, it's because I had used that material from the place that he got it from, and I had trash in it. And
you might have had one bad load or something.
Well, no, I got some mulch from them the other day, and there was a bunch of trash in it. And I was kind of upset.
All they do is grind it. Like, people dump stuff there, and they grind it up and turn it into mulch. Speaking of that is a awesome business.
Are you talking? I don't know if you're allowed to say, if you don't want to say the name of the business, but
well, he buys from them, so I don't want to I don't want people to undercut him.
Yeah.
You only told them that after you quit selling them?
Yeah.
I was buying
How much did you say?
30 to 35.
No, we were at 45.
Well, you sold it to me for 30 to 35.
Yeah.
Because I bought the most amount of mulch to everybody.
All contractors would get
I
that
promise
discount.
I did. I probably bought like 150 yards from you guys.
That doesn't mean it was the most.
It had to have been. Who else was buying more than that?
We hauled a lot to that guy who's building a church off of 174. Like a lot.
I don't know.
Like dump truck.
But remember that mulch he brought me, and it was like really, really black in the front of the property, but it was like really, really not black in the back. Yeah, so I got my ass ate for that. He called me, he's like, hey, Mitchell, I don't know what happened, but the mulch in the back is not as black as the mulch in the front. And I was like, what? It's the same mulch. It's black mulch.
It was in the same pile. It was literally the same pile.
It could have just been like on top and it was just faded. Which what are you supposed to do about that? I mean, I think if a guy was smart and he wanted to spend like what we had talked about, the topsoil, if you go get a big freaking carport and put a bunch of dirt under there in the spring when it's really wet and you can't get
you
topsoil.
need to order it right now. Like while he's got a pile, because that stuff in the springtime, it will be gone and it'll be muddy. And people like, now that you're selling it and I'm not, stockpile it now.
That will be that. Hey guys, if you or anybody you know owns a business that accepts cards, debit cards or credit cards, you need to check out FM Payments. They're a merchant service provider that saves everybody money. It's usually 20 or 30% less on that bill that you get every month just for taking payments. They increase your security. They're going to get you upgraded equipment. They're going to help you out in every way. They're going to put so much more money back in your pocket that your business is going to excel, just like his did.
Yep. We signed up with him, and we said, what was it? It was like 27%.
Yeah.
27% on our credit card processing, and it was amazing.
Yeah, you're going to put so much more money back in your pocket and get your business is going to boom because of this. That's a lot of money you could reinvest back into your business instead of just throwing away to somebody else who's going to take it and pocket it themselves. So, they're at, I think it's fm-pay.com or call them. We'll have the number put up there somewhere and it can get you saving some money today.
Yeah, and if you're interested in actually having a phone number to call 417-612-0083.
Thank you.
And now, like 5 or so years after that, I'm like, at the current time, I didn't think it was that good of a job, but I was making more money than her just working in the construction. And now, obviously, I make
what is she
way
thinks
more
a real
than that,
job?
I guess a school teacher. I don't know. I mean, she's a nice lady. I'm not talking crap on her, but
Still got her on Snapchat, Cody. She's married.
She's married, but yes, I do. Anyways, yeah. So it's just kind of interesting how you don't actually have to go
And I love that too.
do
Like
these things.
anybody, it's like, I don't know why this gets me upset, like pissed off sometimes. But someone's like, "Well, you're just mowing yards, dude." And it's
Yeah.
like, no, like it is so much more than
Dude.
than mowing yards. Like customer relation. And one thing that I will tell anybody that's getting into business, and this was kind of brought up to my attention by one of my mentors, is like, you can mow yards just fine. The profit margins once you start having employees and paying them more and benefits and everything takes away a lot of your profit margins from mowing. Mm-hmm. We are actually, this next year, we're starting another mowing crew, but what we're going to do is we're going to be able to have a larger clientele base, not only just for mowing, but we're planning to build this up so big between the two mowing crews to have like a full property maintenance crew. So not only is Sally down the road spending $1,200 a year with us just strictly mowing, and it sounds like a lot. It's over 7 or 8 months. It's pretty good price for not having to touch anything outside or touch your grass. So we mow it, we take care of everything. But sorry, I didn't want to get in trouble on that one.
This turns if you have to.
But anyways, so we're turning this into a maintenance. So now we're getting these customers that are having us do your spring and fall cleanups. We're doing tree pruning, bush trimming. We're doing the fertilizing. Say you want mulching or you want mulch annually. So we're really going to be taking care of. So each customer, instead of paying us $1,200 a year, they're going to be paying $5, $6, $7 beyond that every year, and every customer is going to do that. So then we're going to have our landscape crew busy in the spring. We're going to have our maintenance crew busy just strictly maintenance, busy in the summer. Obviously, they're going to be busy in the spring, but our landscape guys are going to be in there. We're going to be putting mulch down, rock in, doing all the bigger stuff. And I'm not saying they're not going to be busy in the summer because they'll be doing more hardscape projects, fall cleanups, leaf cleanups. So I don't have to call everybody. Everybody was like, "Hey, do you want a leaf cleanup this year?" And they're like, "No, we did one last year. We don't want to do one this year." It's because, and it's not that I don't want those customers, but for me to grow my business to where I want it to be. If I lose 30% of my customers because they don't want to spend more money to me, that's fine. I don't want to grow in a direction.
What did Tony call it? It was like the C and D customers. Is that what he did it on like an ABC?
Yes. Yeah. Well, but I think
it was like the D and F customers. Or
but
something
he also did that scale based on like jobs. There were some jobs where we had really high profit margins on, because I had bid the job, thinking it would take a longer amount of time, and that would be like an A job but it wasn't bad or like nothing you should feel guilty about, because it's like that's what makes, I guess, your numbers true. Not true, but like you might do a job where you might lose $3,000 because you just bid it the wrong way, and those jobs kind of they kind of tidy up each other, and you're supposed to record all those. Personally, I haven't delegated out enough to be able to have enough time, per se, quote unquote, because I'm already wearing so many hats trying to grow this business. And I've only been full time for a year, to be able to sit down and like really go over those numbers, like how many A jobs did we have, like grade all my jobs. Now after every big project or anything we do, I always sit there and like, okay, was I profitable? Mm-hmm. Did my numbers right? Did they line up?
Do they?
What are my man? And a lot of them do. We got to a point where I can just I can look at something and I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, you need 3 yards of mulch. You want to always do an odd number of planting. So you're going to need 3 shrubs, yada, yada, yada. You're going to need this much fabric. You're going to need this many stakes. You're going to need to drive back and forth, pick up this, and this. You need to figure out, hey, we're working in Republic, so we're going to go down to our supplier, or I don't want to say that name, but you're going to go down to your supplier. You're going to pick up everything you need in one stop.
Yeah. If you know who you are, you can advertise on here if you want. We got a big guest coming on Sunday, so we'll hopefully not as big as this one though.
Yeah.
Not as big as this one, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. No,
but joke.
But anyways, I could literally talk for hours and hours. Another goal of mine, and I actually just sent a questionnaire, not a questionnaire to them so they know what to really talk about with me. But help me. I really want to, like, this next year, I want to work on leadership, to be able, to have really good leadership within myself to lead, but also get it down to the guys.
Offload it like that.
Yeah. So I want it to be really, we're a young company. There's no guy that works in my company that's over like 24, 25.
Mm-hmm. You think that's old or something?
But you know what I mean? Like that's young. We're a bunch of young guys, young men. And so me being 22 and say we start getting guys on that are 30 or 40 years old, it's sometimes there's like a respect difference. But I feel like
it's hard for an older person to
Yeah,
take
want to
orders
listen
from
to
a
you,
young.
yeah.
But if I have good
everyone
leadership
does that too.
and offer a lot of, good respect qualities and take care of my men like I presume to do and my vision throughout my company.
And your women, right?
Yeah. But like
I was trying to throw you a bone there. You just
yeah.
Oh yeah, all right.
No, but I mean, honestly, and that's really hard. So for all you young entrepreneurs out there, you can't look at it as just because they're older, it means they know more or they can walk on you or whatever, because you have to be able to know your place and your leadership. But there again, so I want to work on leadership. I want to work on vocabulary of knowing not only what stuff says, but like I could be sitting here saying fancier words, but not just for the fact to say the fancier words, but like to really
more eloquent.
We should
vocabulary.
do like a voice coach. I would go to that if you want.
I got you.
Me,
I can figure. I'll do it for you.
How much you charging?
He's not professional.
I am.
Okay.
Ask me where I'll give you 5 synonyms for it right now.
Hey, how about this?
What's a synonym? Do you know that? I honestly,
I like cinnamon on my.
see, like I have heard of that, and I could take a guess, but if I had to actually explain that one, I was like, no.
A synonym is a word that means the same as another word. It's just it's a different word.
Oh, like tomato.
So, antonym and what?
Tomato.
No.
The and the.
Nope, those are the same word.
So like a glass and a cup.
Kinda, yeah. But a cup,
Well,
glass.
I guess glasses.
Yeah, it would be like.
They're gonna think we're idiots.
Okay, but before we make ourselves look stupid, so
It's what a thesaurus is, a book that you use to find synonyms. So that's what you need.
and I use a thesaurus. I love thesaurus.
I'm surprised that you spit that out. The word thesaurus, didn't even trip over it. Cody, say it right now.
Thesaurus.
Oh, okay.
I had time that I was thinking that went over my brain.
I would have tripped over that one.
No, but seriously, one day I would love to be able to talk in front of a group of people and explain. Well, I mean,
gonna be
okay,
a
I
billion
know
people.
I know, but like a group of people.
So
like,
what do you want to tell
an
them?
audience? Here's what I really want to say: school isn't a joke. That's number one. And I really like.
That sounds cliche to say too, but it is true.
Yeah, like we grew up in a small town, so it's not like we're in like a really like rich like preppy school, private school. But seriously, you don't have to take the hardest classes, but pay attention in your basic classes. Your English. I mean, I made a comment about that earlier about trying to get out of English, but seriously, I regret that to this day because, like I said, in all my future Facebook posts, I still do it to this day. I'll call my mom and say, "Hey, will you read my Facebook post and see if all my commas and everything's right, or if I put the right there on there?"
Which one would you use for that one? On there.
Well, it's THERE. Yeah.
Good guess.
No, seriously.
33%.
Because I had to look it up the other day because I was pretty upset about something and I was putting there in all caps and I didn't want to look stupid.
Well, that's hard too. Whenever you're talking to customers and you're trying to sound professional and like you know what you're doing, you do know what you're doing. It's explaining to somebody that doesn't know who you are that you do know what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's where that comes in handy.
That Grammarly thing, do you pay for that?
No,
Is it
it's free.
Really?
And it's literally set up on my text messages. So
it like is integrated into everything on your phone? So like when you text, it pulls up on it?
So if I go to respond,
Doesn't have your first name on there, just your last name.
I know I look up
That's
Cody
like-
and
that's my
nothing comes
nickname.
up.
Everybody calls me that.
So I'm on here and I type instead of good I put it with like a J, and then I go.
Let's just autocorrect.
So, okay, but autocorrect. But anyways, you can click here.
He thinks he has a thing downloaded. It's just
like it's free. It's called Siri.
I gotta pee again.
Where you going?
I got pee. I got diabetes.
Do you really?
Diabetes.
No, I got diabetes.
I got diabetes.
Who knows?
She freaking Tammy and Amy.
Who's that? Oh, the ones, the girl who goes, "You don't know how hard it is for me." You know that one?
I like it what she says.
Is this like a meme or TikTok?
Well, kind of. They were on that show, My 600-Pound Life. It was two sisters. They were massive. And there's some clips about it. It's funny. And then I guess they lost like 300 pounds each.
Really?
I mean, that still makes them about 300 pounds, but...
Did you? Okay, David Joggins, you've seen him, right?
That's that black dude who runs without a shirt on and just like hardcore.
Yeah,
all the time.
hardcore dude. He used to be like huge.
Really? He's very lean.
Yeah, he's lean and his skin is tight. I don't know how he managed to do that. Usually, when people
I
lose
think
a
it's
lot
when
of
people
weight,
do it too quickly. I think right when people lose their weight like quickly because that's what all those like dramatic weight loss transformations they happen in like less than a year, you know, and people end up with like the loose skin and stuff like that. That they
and it's like good for them that they lost the weight.
Yeah,
but
that's
sucks.
a thing they have to live with their whole life.
Yeah,
You can get surgery.
Well, not
on
everybody
the
can afford
skin
that.
you can.
Yeah, I think so.
It didn't look the same, but
Well, anything's better than I don't know. It just
like when I lost,
crappy
so I
situation
lost
where-
100 pounds over like
Jesus.
a year and a half. You knew that, Matt.
I don't know numbers that well.
Oh well, I lost about 100 pounds within a year and a half, so I had no stretch marks afterwards. Well, that was very fortunate for. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but like I had lost it. I was only losing like I don't know what the math is, but it wasn't like 50 pounds in a month. And a lot of people that lose that much weight in 1 month, that's where you get your stretch marks. Or if you gain weight that fast, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get the stretch marks. So
Yeah, I know how you feel.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
What a dick.
My biceps are got
Okay.
stretch marks.
I was gonna get off track, but we'll talk about it later.
We're not really on a track here.
No,
Well, I was
got
just gonna say.
I got some loose ends I need to get
All right,
covered up.
let's hear you.
Okay, so-
I mean, we don't have to be ends. Just
Okay, well, I just want to say, in my point in my business, a lot of my goals for this year: leadership, vocabulary. I got the list right here. I want to be able to create systems and learn from them and scale, because just to have some type of documentation of like, okay, this is what we used, and this is what we used and it didn't work. So here's how we're going to edit it. I'm trying.
This is something that, like, I've heard. This is part of the reason that having a podcast appealed to me, because I've heard a lot of people on podcasts talk about the value of, like, you're on here talking about things you want to do, and now there's a possibility for people to hear it, and it keeps you accountable for things that you say, goals that you have, and now you have other people who heard it who might call you out for not doing it, and it makes it more likely for you to stay on your goals. You're telling people about it,
and that's why I actually haven't wrote all my goals for 23 because I want to do personal and business. With it's all one. Just so you know, if you're going to start a business, you literally have no life. I'm just kidding, but
no, you're not kidding. That's
okay. Literally, if you're serious about it, there's a lot of times I could be laying on the couch watching a movie with my girlfriend, and
that sounds good.
And I'll just sit there and just I'm just doing an estimate or turning in some invoices. But anyways, I'll read this to you. So I sent these to my mentor to have him talk to me. They own a multi-million-dollar.
These are the Florida guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just actually started. They brought their business to Atlanta, Georgia, Nashville, Tennessee, and Houston, Texas.
Weren't you gonna meet up with them, or are you going to meet up with them?
I have Zoom calls with them about 3 or 4 a year.
Oh, gotcha.
They kind of I send them my questions and they kind of answer.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I did talk to them was in the Domino's parking lot in Battlefield, and I literally was mowing by myself, had not a whole lot of money in my pocket, and sitting them ask, and if I could go back and whip my ass, because I'm like, you were really asking these questions to these high profile guys, and now
Would you ask?
I really don't know. It was just simple, stupid stuff like, how do you get customers, and but it's not stupid at that. I guess it's not really.
Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving me the time of day to be able to discuss that stuff with me, because between them and Tony's class and everything we kind of learned together, I would not be the same person. And when I say we did 400% more this year in gross revenue is true, and we've had good profit margins. We've invested a lot. Me. But.
You ever think about bringing somebody else on as a co-owner or anything like that?
No.
Add some capital?
I got trust issues now. But
see, I thought that way, and this was kind of one of my hesitations towards doing this type of business is, I know I'll say stuff right now that I think I know. In 5 years down the road, I'll be like, the past me was an idiot. I should have never said that. I don't agree with that now. And I used to say I need to own 100% of it because it's me and I'm the only one who can do the work. Well, now that I exited my first business, one of my employees now does exactly what I used to do, and he honestly does a better job than I was doing.
Oh yeah.
And I wish I'd have just handed that off to him and actually let him do that on his own. And I'm talking about Kendall. We used to haul portable buildings, and I was, kind of always had to watch over his shoulder and stuff. But now
you thought you had to.
I thought I had to, and now he's awesome at it.
That's good.
Well, I think what it is a lot of people, if you watch over them like that and they don't care that much about it, they're just not going to do as much. And it reaffirms your belief of what you thought of the reason you were doing it. And now because it's his livelihood, it's he can do it. He probably could do it the whole time,
Yeah. And just to be honest with you, me and him, we have an LLC and we're set up 50-50. I never thought I would do that in my entire life, but it's we both just got to trust in each other that we're both going to work equally on this. He has skills that I don't, and I have skills that he doesn't.
Yeah, this dude, I for some reason I cannot do it, but he's posting on TikTok every 15 minutes. I swear, for some reason I can't do something all day long like that. I can't do it.
It's just different hustles. He's great with the technology and setting up landing pages and all the technical stuff, and I'm just better. I'm a better hustler, I would say.
Well, see,
I'm lazy.
You think about some of these big corporations, and I really haven't done my research on it, but I heard something the other day, and I can't remember what the situation was, but there was this guy, he owned like 83% of the company. And I was like, well, who owned like the other like 17% or whatever? But he owned 83% of the company. It was a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you just sell like a percentage of your business or whatever, or like even bring somebody in? I wouldn't have a problem with it, but for my caliber of business, I guess I should say, I do want to franchise it eventually. And I want. There's 2 areas I have in mind right now: Kansas City, Missouri, and Oakland Park area. What I like about Kansas City is there's about 15 Springfields right like in that city. Yeah. And so when I worked up there, I just realized there's so much potential for growth up there.
What would you say is what's your brand that you think would be valuable to like a franchisee if you were going to do that? Because otherwise they might just start their own business,
I think
what is your brand?
A lot of companies are so cutthroat and maybe not only cutthroat, but they're so impersonal. How I want to build my business is like around how I've reached success. I'm not at the top, I'm not at the bottom, but like you guys were saying earlier, I like creating relationships with people. So if we can spread that honesty and the old way of doing things with business, and maybe even the CRM I was talking about, like the customer relations officer.
Is that what the M stands
no,
for?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No, but you know what I mean, though. And so, I really think it's important in a company. I don't like hearing a robot every time I go to call the phone.
You should see the deal that I lost yesterday. So I don't know if you know what I do for work. I do sales for a merchant service company. But part of the way the company has...
from you, man.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Go ahead.
Part of the way that we have to do it is the whole third-party close where you have to talk to a sales manager on the phone. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody who they ended up hanging up on the person on the phone because they were talking too fast and going through their script too much. And he ended up telling me on the phone, he goes, "You make your company look good, but that guy lost you your sale," is what he ended up saying because he was just being too robotic and being too...
You have to understand it from both sides, though. If you're the corporate business...
That's the most efficient way,
absolutely. You can hire anybody to read the script and it goes through.
Yeah.
And they might close 10% of the deals that way. And
it just,
for them, that
makes
makes sense.
From the people with the boots on the ground, it's rough. It's hard to do.
Absolutely. Because it makes you look like a jerk.
Yeah,
honestly.
and it's a big waste of time because I don't get paid for it. Yeah. Then again, I saw that guy that I hate listening to, Brad Lee, say something. I hate that guy.
Brad, if you're listening to this, he's an asshole.
I think
he's a jackass.
I think it's just how he gets views.
That may be it.
I have never met one of these people in person that I ended up liking more after they met them, and I can honestly say that about Bradley.
Well, he said something in a TikTok. I went on the sales TikTok hashtag and just went through it for hours and hours and hours. I was looking at it. That just shows all what I do with my time. But he said one in there that was talking about, it says even if you have 10 people you talk to that you didn't get a sale, and then you had one for $1,000. Well, you need to look at it as you got $100 to talk to each of those people, instead of $1,000 for one and nothing for the other 9.
I think that's a pretty good idea. Anyway.
I mean, yeah, it is, because at the end of the year, you're going to total up how much money you made. You may have made $100,000 a year, and you only, your closing rate may have only been 30% or something like that.
Well, that's what we were talking about with these TikTok videos. It's like embarrassingly low views right now, but as soon as this starts to gain a little momentum, and this older videos. Yeah, this video may not get that many views because we're brand new.
No, I said this video is going to do it.
This isn't a lot of TikTokers, but we're at 30,000 views in 2 days.
It's pretty good. I think I got 15 in my hot dog outfit. 15
I mean
total.
You want to bring it on the next time you come on the show?
Yeah.
Is it in your car?
Did
you bring your dump trailer here?
Yeah, I forgot to take it back to the shop. Well, I was helping Kyler move out of his house yesterday. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to drive all the way back to the shop and then to my house. I just took it home with me, and yeah, I still got it on.
Sorry, I used to drag mine around. They're so handy to have on all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you might pick up a load of molds at 2:00 in the morning.
Did yours have hydraulic jacks?
No.
Oh, you got to get hydraulic jacks.
Yeah.
Whenever you got that, that's.
I got a
amazing.
hydraulic leak right now. I'm getting a new. I'm getting a
You got
new
no hydraulic
cylinder.
jack, but I
Write
got
it down. Write it down.
I'm getting.
I was already on my way.
I'm putting my second cylinder in that brand new trailer a year ago.
Oh.
That's it.
Okay, wait. I talked you into buying that. Now, if it wasn't a lemon, if the trailer wasn't just a piece of junk,
Which one?
It dumps sideways now. No, it's not even a dump trailer. It's a sideways dump
I had
trailer.
That could be useful. Aside,
Side dump.
Until it flips my whole damn truck over.
I had great luck out of my trailer, and he bought a trailer that's just.
that big Max
It's
D one
making
you
money though, right?
Oh, it's already
What
paid
was it?
itself off.
15 grand.
17.
17,000.
Cody's like, yeah, I bought it for 12 grand.
the times are changing. Didn't you say?
I get connections.
Did you say both of those trucks you bought you sold back for the same amount you bought them for?
I made money on the
That's ridiculous.
but that's a time to market.
Yeah, I know.
I got lucky on that.
So yeah,
That's one of the reasons.
but like I have a feeling things like that happen cyclically, don't they, in the market? You know.
Sure, but we had in some cases they do, but we had COVID and like all the truck market went down for a minute, and then they couldn't get chips, so the prices went up, and then all the used trucks went up,
And
I was
then
like,
just at that time, you were
I had
like,
two brand new
quit.
yeah, and I made money on all. of them.
That's the thing is when I bought my truck, I bought it. It was like $12,000 off because it was like it was a 2020 and we were going into the year 21, and so like the new trucks were coming out, so they took like 12,000 off MSRP or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Your truck has to be one of the best looking trucks I see out there
it's pretty
driving around.
good looking trucks.
You like
With
it?
the what do they call that
You
deal
like
on the
it?
bottom?
A two-tone?
That gray, like dark, that gray. I
didn't-
love that.
I
And
didn't
the
like
wheels.
that.
You have the perfect combination on that truck.
See, I didn't like it forever, and then I was like, you know what? I didn't pay $12,000 more, so I got a 2-ton truck.
I like it a lot.
Yeah,
You know what?
It grew on me.
Whenever the new Chevys come out, I was like, oh, that's ugly. That's look upside down. And I've been like looking at them now. I'm like,
You're just
dang,
like, they're kinda
growing on me.
changing.
They're growing on
But
me.
I knew. I didn't. I swear to God, I told you that was
I
going to
know.
happen.
I was talking
That's
to
just
Kendall
how
the
it
other day. I
goes.
was like, I stopped at the Ford. It was actually a Ford dealership in Branson. I was looking at that, and I was like, man, that's a good
Like the
looking
brand
truck.
new ones. I don't know if
Brand
they've
new.
changed the bodies at all for
It seems
23.
like everybody's got a lot of white ones in stock right now.
Ugh.
A lot of because that's the construction fleet vehicle.
Yeah, well, these were. The next truck I'm gonna buy is not gonna be a tradesman. It's gonna be a luxury.
Well,
Why are you gonna buy a truck?
Why would you not want leather air conditioned heated
It is
seats?
nice having a
I
truck.
just-
You know, I don't have a washer and dryer, partly because I don't know how I'm going to get it to my apartment.
I probably won't buy a truck this year. I do plan on buying a plane this year. So I'm going to.
You hear that, everybody?
Yeah,
He plans on buying a plane.
not a jet. It's
Check us out on Patreon.
So who's gonna fly you around, Cody?
I gotta get my pilot's license. I mean, Kendall has his too.
But not a jet. Kendall can't
Kendall
fly a
does
jet.
not. Kendall has his boating license.
No.
Kendall has a pilot's license.
I have a
didn't
boater's
even
license.
finish
He went
it.
to school for it.
He
yeah,
never
he's
finished
got to
it.
like take like one test and he's done.
I think, I don't know about
Does that
that.
not expire? It was like 2 years ago.
I
That's what I'm
imagine,
saying,
I
like,
bet
he
they have to
has
keep
it,
up on
and
it.
he just has to like go get a physical or something. I don't know. But are you trying to show me something?
No, I was gonna read them like 20 minutes ago, but
What?
we got to talk.
Oh, go ahead.
Cody buying
Are
a
these your
plane.
goals?
That's awesome. Yeah, that's like the most important thing. A lot of people have like things in their head about like things they want to do, but like unless you recognize what your goals are and like actually make a plan on it, it's just a dream that you have for your whole life, you know.
Well, I totally agree. Like you hear everybody's like, write down your goals, do your goals, and people
Write down
like,
a plan. That's
well,
the
people
important part.
like brush it off like it's not that serious. But oh my gosh,
board.
every year I feel like I'm on a plane, like in like January, February, and I'm or in like December, November, like towards like the beginning, and I'm always on a plane, bored, have no signal, and I'm sitting there writing out everything I want to do, everything I want to get done, my vision, my goal. One really hard thing that I really want to accomplish this year is writing out, like, I want to write a 5 and a 10-year goal, and obviously I got to write this year goal, just to kind of help my vision move along. But here's some things I wrote to them to see, these questions we could talk about. How to record failure and actually show growth from it. So I think that's a big thing. Like, they always say, well, this is something I always say is, my biggest investment is messing something up, breaking, failing at something.
Well, you do learn the most.
Yeah,
from those, honestly.
I honestly
thought you were
feel
gonna
like
That's not just
you do
cliche.
mess up a lot.
You
That's
do.
what I thought you were gonna say.
you do learn the most from those, definitely.
yeah, like I feel like it's one of the biggest and a story I heard the other day. I may have told one of you guys this the other day, but this guy worked at this bank and he did a $250,000 mistake back in the 40s or 50s, and then that was like $1 million or $750,000 today. Like it was just a lot of money back then.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of money now, but anyway, so he started packing up his office, and the owner of the bank, his secretary came down and was like, hey Bob, I need you to come up to Jeff's office and come talk to him, whatever. And Bob's like, I know, I messed up. I'm getting fired. I'm almost done packing up all my stuff. I'll just leave. She's like, no, he wants to talk to you. So he goes to the office, and Jeff, the owner of the bank, he's like, well, Bob, what happened here? And Bob's like, I know, I'm getting fired. I can't believe I did that. I've been working here for 3 years. Like, I can't believe that happened. I'm so sorry. And Jeff says, listen, he goes, you're not fired, so go and pack your stuff. And Bob's like, eyes are all big. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, no, you're not leaving. I just invested $250,000 into you, so you'll never make that mistake again. Yep. And that was so good, because not only is he going to be able to keep Bob, the guy that worked there, from doing it again, but he's going to be able to teach other people under him or even above him about his mistake for everybody to learn.
Yeah.
So I had obviously in business, stuff's going to break. It's just going to happen. It doesn't matter what business you're in. So my dump trailer, I bought it in November of last year, just turned over to a year old. In the spring, I had one of my guys was turning into a driveway, and he got overloaded at the quarry full of rock, and he actually went in the ditch. Mm-hmm. So, beyond that circumstance, when the trailer went in the ditch and we had to get a semi-wrecker out there to get out of the ditch, to know, hey, we're going to pay attention on our turns. We also had one of our guys back the trailer into a vehicle. Luckily, those were the only two bad incidents we had this year. That's probably in May, I think, when Clayton did that. But I wasn't mad. Like, how...
Well, it happens.
But it happens. Like, how mad can you... It already happened. There's nothing you can do about it except prevent it for the next time.
Yeah.
Accidents happen. And a lot of people... I used to get really upset on stuff if something didn't go my way or it broke or something happened, but it's like, honestly, why? Like, you can't do nothing about it. It already happened. I mean, sure, you can try to help the situation for a future. Mm-hmm. But, if I dump this water on this computer, I can't undump the water on the computer. It's already happened.
I'll be a little upset.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, no, like...
You see us recording this episode?
Like the vents on top, it would really go right into.
Get an air compressor.
These microphones and everything all hooked up in it. The sound quality on that phone sucks ass. So
yeah,
we need
really
these.
It really does.
So I got a couple of things on here. How to record...
Is that one still good?
Go ahead, Mitchell.
How to record what you've learned, and how do you map it out to see? Like, you know what I mean? It's, say you just figured out how you're gonna make 50% profit on a yard of dirt. Mm-hmm. When you sell it, like, how did you figure that out? How are you gonna draw it on a map so when you get another material and then you're like, oh, okay, I know how to do this. Or
what was the equation that you plugged into that thing that got you the result?
It's amazing, like the little tiny details add up. Like, it's not only you drive there, you pick up material, you come back, you sell it. It's this truck got a flat tire this day, and my employee sat in the truck, and I had to have a service truck come fix it because he was on the side of the road, and that took one employee 6 hours to get fixed and back on the road. You have to write all this stuff down, account for it, get your averages, and split it between everything, and then actually figure out what your profit can be.
If you actually do the math doesn't lie. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just, it seems like a lot of people just don't pay attention to the math on that kind of thing. You know?
And that's the thing too, like that budgeting that we did at Tony's deal. Mm-hmm. Like, if it rains, and I know like there's a lot of guys out in my field that do this type of work. Anything outside, it's going to rain. You're going to have bad days with weather. It's going to be hot. It's going to be cold. But here's something you need to watch out for, and I think is very, very recommended. Figure out how many hours in a year your guys are working, and budget in your downtime. Because there's going to be some times that you need guys changing the oils in the truck, fixing the mowers, working on equipment, and you need those days. And to have it budgeted in to where you can feel comfortable of like, you got why did we have 4 guys working on
So you're
stuff
not
today?
just pulling your hair out on the days that
Oh,
it has to
we're not
happen,
making money. We got
Yeah.
stuff to do. It's like, no, you need that stuff budgeted in.
It's part of like that 2-second lean thing you're talking
I was trying
about.
to bring that. I was trying
Yeah.
to find a spot to bring that.
Yeah.
Have you been? Sorry.
I brought it up on the phone with him the other day, and he said he told you about it.
Yeah, what the heck?
He did tell me about it.
You didn't tell me that. He didn't give you credit.
I don't know.
Sorry. I don't think
John, Jake, Dane, everybody that I learned that off that podcast. It's brilliant.
we should see if we can like.
Dude,
do a
I could
podcast.
get John and Jake. I need to meet Jake, but I know John. We're actually going to lunch next week when he gets back from Hawaii. So we were supposed to go this week, but he forgot that he's supposed to leave for Hawaii. So
That's good luck.
those problems, yeah.
I feel bad because I only listened to like 2/3 of that. I didn't finish it yet.
I think the biggest problem with it is it's like really. I'm trying to use the word anal, but that's probably not the word I should use. Like
strict.
no, what's the? When you're like really looking over the shoulder of your employees, I feel like that's what it is.
You're micromanaging.
Micromanaging. That's
Yeah, but like what I love about it is getting your lower guys involved with it. Like you don't have to be a lead. Everybody does it a different day.
What they said in that was that you have a lot of pushback from people from your current customers,
Yeah,
but they said there's almost no pushback from new people you bring on if you have that system implemented when you start bringing people on.
Yeah.
And then it becomes worth it.
Well, it totally makes sense. If you have like a positive work culture or something like that, I can see that people are like, oh yeah, let's get better, let's get better. But if you don't, I'm sure that's going to
I feel
Well,
like
but
we
why
probably have to
would
explain what that is if we're just talking about it. People are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
So basically, it's you have a morning meeting it's every day, right?
I got it wrote down on here.
Every day, and you just basically every employee figures out how they could do their job 2 seconds faster.
Okay, so
than normal.
2-second lean rules, and this is exactly how they said on the podcast. So if Jake, Dane, John, if you guys listen to this, you said it wrong, and because I literally listened to it like 4 times. So first 20 minutes of the day, no one works. So it's simply just based on this. You can only come up with an improvement that will make your life better at work or others. 30 to 40 minutes based on how much budgeted time you have for this. Like obviously 30 minutes with 5 guys, 4 or 5 days a week, 52 weeks a year, it adds up. So you have to be able to know how much you're budgeting into this, because even 5 minutes a day, like that's literally like what the 2-second lean is so good about.
Well, and that stuff adds up.
Well, yeah. It's like I tell my guys, like I had one guy that was 5 minutes late 3 days in a row. But I'm not at the shop every morning because I can't be there every morning. I'm at meetings. I stay up late working. I want to I just want to, go do office work. I'm underwear and not do anything for an hour of the day because I work till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And for any entrepreneur, it's true. And if you don't do paperwork in your underwear, you're missing out. So literally what I've done all week, it's my lazy week this week. But anyway,
This week, you have a lazy week. That's just vacation.
my guys are
Once
off.
a month,
I
he
have
has a lazy week.
I've been watching.
4 weeks out of the
I've been
I mean, if you
watching-
can afford to do it, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, I've been watching Breaking Bad. Just
Oh,
then after-
that's
good.
a good one.
Oh, I'm
good.
on episode. I'm on season 4. But anyways,
Oh.
so 30 to 45 or 30 to 40 minutes of videos or pictures proven steps to make this company better. Talk about ideas. Repeat every day with a different person. So if you have a guy that it's his 2nd or 3rd week into the company or whatever, and he's he's 18, 19, and he's kind of shy, you give him that opportunity, because like I feel like one thing, and this might be a little off topic, but like raising kids. I don't have kids, so don't put my word on it.
Don't take my word for it.
Don't take my
That's
word
the
for
name
it.
of this podcast.
Don't take
I
my
hope
word
you
for
knew
it.
that.
Don't take my word for it. But honestly, it's like
I had like a light
the
bulb
reason
go.
you guys ask, and this is no diss towards your parents or anything, but like I don't really mean it
What are
like
you about to
this.
say, huh?
My mom, she was so like, I'm literally my mom. If you guys ask, like, my mom can talk.
That's why I like you so much.
My mom can talk. My mom can talk to anybody, and that's really like kind of what I grew up around. Like, not scared to talk to anybody.
Yeah. Well, you grow up and your parents. I'm not saying my parents did. I think I had a great childhood, but it was like people tell you, they're like, don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers. You know, they might be creepy. Don't go over there to them. And that's like, in the future, whenever you're out on your own, you have to talk to strangers.
The world is full of strangers, you know?
Everybody.
And it's amazing. I think about this all the time. It's like, I didn't know you at one point in time, and now we're best buddies. We hang out all the time. I didn't know you at one time.
Speak for yourself.
We're not best buddies.
It's just amazing. Like,
Cody and I have traveled the world together.
it's just like, I don't understand.
We went to Hawaii together.
They're dating.
I've been twice now, so.
Twice.
By yourself.
Well,
And you know what? You liked the first time you went. You didn't like the second time.
No, I like this.
We bought that metal island, by the way. I bought it last night. Yeah.
Maui?
Yeah, but like I turned it to an NFT and sold it. I was just like,
Do you know what NFT stands for, Mitchell?
Yeah, not fucking that. So, but anyways, okay. But anyways, back to the childhood thing. So like, if you're a parent, and I feel like I see this like with parents and like, or when I was growing up, you know, the mom and the dad would sit there and like judge somebody, and like, you know, it sounds like fishy or funny or whatever. I mean, literally, you're not supposed to. Like, it's a rule. You're not really supposed to judge or bully, but people do it. Like, there's no.
Absolutely.
We try to say as like a culture together, it doesn't happen, but it does.
I mean, ideally, it shouldn't happen that much because it makes people feel bad. But you know,
it's a culture.
It's something.
Like
It's something you have to
judge
worry.
people just off of like a facial expression. Like right now, I have an internal judge. I'm like, oh, what's this guy doing? You know.
I think what they mean is negative
cut
judgment.
in shaved in like 3 months. What the hell's going on?
I think what they mean is don't like assume whatever you judged about somebody is the truth. You know?
Yeah, it's like you see somebody that has like, I don't know, they kind of like have like raggedy clothes on or something, like, oh, crackhead, you know. But but really. Hey, this is nice. I got this for my birthday. But anyways, it's like if you as a kid are looking at your parents that are constantly judging somebody, you're gonna grow up judging. You know, like you're gonna literally grow up as you're growing up. That's gonna be an eternal moral to you.
But you don't have to.
No, I mean, sure. If you can learn, you can learn that that's different.
What makes you conscious of it at a young age? You know,
because that's what you know.
I have different beliefs than my parents do.
But what made that happen? Because a lot of people don't like. I mean, not to stir up anything, but that's what a lot of people consider like religious things to be, because everybody tends to be the religion that their parents are. You know what I mean? What makes people think differently from their parents, and what makes people think the same things as their
figured
parents?
it out.
That's a good point.
It's because I figured it out.
Mark this down because that is a big deal.
I figured it out. So, like what you're saying is because there might be some different, different points your parents have taught you, like, how do I say it? Like, you're soft-hearted. So your parents taught you to be soft-hearted, but you also judge. So you're sitting there and you're like, you know, you see, you're judging, and like you take a shower that next night and you're thinking like, man, I shouldn't have thought about it that way. Like, and then you grow up and there's maturity. But I feel like there's sometimes that maybe your parents teach you all one way. And there's some parents that are like kind of like teach like scatterbrain. Mm-hmm. So you have a different, more like open-minded childhood. And I guess I can't really say it the right way. But it's like, I don't know. And I just agree, like, I agree with parents, you know, teaching them like, you know, how they were taught. But here's my thing is I'm always thinking to myself, there's never enough education. So you should always keep learning. So if you getting stuck in one way drives me nuts. Like if you're so closed-minded, you're like, oh, I got all I need to know. You know, it's like, no, you don't. Like the world advances. There's things to know, and I know not everybody's like that, but that drives me absolutely nuts.
What are some things that you think you want to know more about right now?
I've already explained, you know, like a little bit as like, with like knowing vocabulary, knowing words, being able to say something funny at the top of a hat. Like Kendall, I was telling you about Kendall.
Yeah.
So damn funny.
I brought this up to him today. I was like, you know, Matt and Mitchell both said that I should have you on the podcast. And I was like, there ain't no way you would ever come on this podcast. And he's like, oh, well, I was gonna, if you wanted me to. I was like, are you kidding me?
I didn't see there's any problem with it.
I was like, he'll never. I was like, he's gonna be my number one hater on all of this. Yeah.
Why do you think so highly of what he thinks? And why are you so worried about it?
I think highly of him.
No. What I meant to say is, why are you so worried about what he's going to think?
I don't think I'm worried about it. We're doing it. But I just think that he is like...
It didn't seem like a controversial thing at all to think that Kendall would do it. Like, that seemed... I don't know, that just seemed like a normal thing. It seemed like he would have a fun time doing it.
I was wrong, so I guess...
and I'm wondering what led you to think that way, because you were very hard on that when I brought it up.
And it might have been just because I brought it up that way. If you bring up something some way, they're always one to kind of be the opposite. Like, oh, no, I would do that.
Yeah.
So, who knows what the
That's a sales tactic.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, maybe Kendall wouldn't do it, but like, why wouldn't he? Kendall's hilarious. He's so smart. He's funny. Mm-hmm. Like, he's so easy just to pop things off. I can everybody can be funny around me, and I go and freaking take a shower the next day, and I'm like, ooh, I got a good joke for this now.
That's another dude who is confident in his own skin, or comfortable in his own skin.
Kendall? Oh yeah.
He doesn't. His personality does not change. He is
Kendall.
Solid. Like, I've never seen him get off of his personality ever.
You talk about
he's got the same.
You talk about guns. Oh, let's sit and talk to a damn brick wall about them.
Yeah, he got the same thoughts, the same actions. He does what he says.
I love that about Kendall, and I wish a lot. He's
gonna love this clip.
I wish a lot more people had that because today's. I mean, everybody's fake. I mean, like, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like, they're just. Like, oh yeah, hey girl, like, I love you, and then you turn around, it's like fuck her, you know what? I don't know, and it's just.
Do you do that?
Huh?
Do you do that?
Oh yeah, I'm like, hey Matt, long time no see. Normally, if I don't like somebody, I just won't talk to them, or if I talk to them, just short with them. Like, if I'm short with you, you know there's something wrong. Because obviously you guys probably understand that.
You've never been.
I like to talk. I love to talk. Like, this podcast might go on
sometimes
for 6 hours.
On the phone, I'm like, "Come on, man."
I just set it.
I talked to Matt for 45 minutes the other day.
I know.
I was longest conversation.
I was like, I gotta take Hank out. I put earbuds in, walk to the dog park. I was like, I gotta leave. I was
sitting there blushing. I was like, Matt's really talking to me for 45 minutes. This is the best day in the world.
I think I was on the toilet, honestly, when you first went out for part of that. Honestly,
I was talking to Greenhall the other day about a building, and I literally propped him up in my shower and talked to him the whole time I took a shower. There is no time that I'm taking personally. There's business or communication all the damn time.
You were FaceTiming him, weren't you?
Yeah.
And it
or
was,
Zoom call.
Don't tell his wife.
Yeah.
No, but
does this lower this building cost?
You think you can make it a little bit cheaper?
Well, you got your shirt on in the shower.
No comment.
Yeah,
I was in the shower. I don't know. That's how I clean my clothes too.
That's money saving right there.
Yeah. I honestly,
that's a 2-second lean.
Right there.
No,
dude, there was a guy I saw a video of that where he's like hyper focused on saving as much money as possible, and that's what he did. He showers with his clothes on, so he doesn't have to take extra water for washing his clothes or anything like that. At some point,
I'm like, what's the reason for making money?
Yeah,
what
is the purpose of money?
That discipline that you never spend a dime. It's like, well, why am I even trying to make money?
Why do you have a shower? Why not go rinse off in a river?
Yeah. It's just like.
Where do you draw the line?
You ever took a shit?
You
ever took a shit in a river?
No.
Oh, what? It's an instant bidet. I mean, seriously. No toilet paper needed.
Did you say bidet?
Bidet.
Bidet.
Bidet. No, seriously. You literally just squat down in the water. Well, obviously take
Which river did you do this in?
James River.
Never flown that
everybody else.
Never flown that one again.
I'm pretty sure that's where Springfield
Table Rock.
dumps it out.
Wilson's Creek. I'm just kidding. It wasn't Wilson's Creek. But anyways,
you didn't say just kidding about the other two.
I go home tonight and a freaking Wilson's Creek National Battlefield shows up my house. You shit in the land.
This won't go up for a couple days probably, so don't worry.
Okay. So if I should expect it like 5 to 7,
will probably go
5 to 7,
yeah,
5 to 7 business days. I really want to read off some more of these questions.
Okay.
I
thought you were just starting to check something. I was like, oh well, here we go.
Oh really?
Okay. Okay. So what is the hiring process?
So what's the framework of this? Are these questions to yourself?
No, these are questions to my mentor. They're brothers.
Gotcha.
And so I'll spend about an hour, 2 hours talking with them. They're very busy. I got to get it planned out. And so I'd love to be able to talk to them because they're so straightforward. Like they literally like I'll talk to them like, so what's the point? Like, why do you do that? Or I'm really thinking about buying another truck last year, and they were like, why don't you? And I was like, I don't know, because it costs money. And he's like, it's part of doing business. Next. And I was like, okay.
I got a book you should read.
But I love having that. I love talking to these guys. I love talking to these guys because
I haven't read that.
They're so straightforward.
I keep bringing it up.
They're so straightforward, and they're like, they don't beat around the bush. And it's nice to be able to talk to them instead of be like, hey, Cody, you think I should buy this trailer? And you're like, I don't know why.
I don't remember this conversation.
No, but it's like
it's this Billings water, man. I'll tell you.
What, E. coli or something in there?
Damn
it! Austin's being in the water tower again.
Actually, Billings has been shut down like twice for E. coli.
Yeah, they're on boil order.
Yeah.
Okay,
they just basically stick the signs out every other.
They don't actually tell you. You know, if we didn't have the Billings uncensored neighborhood watch or whatever, we wouldn't even know.
We're gonna get a lot of hate now. It's a nice little town.
Billings?
We have.
I don't live here anymore for a reason.
No.
We have a Casey's.
I don't like Billings. I'm actually
The Casey's was shut for like a month.
I was banned. I was banned from this town for at least 2 months.
We do have the world's best Chinese restaurant, though.
Honestly, anytime you or Kendall, I cannot.
This is the world's.
I won't eat there if you paid me to eat there.
What is it?
Cody,
you don't even know the name of it?
It's a Chinese restaurant in Billings.
Yeah, I know you say that, and you and Kendall love it so much, and I hate it.
It's good, but it is not the best.
Pan Express.
Where's the best?
Pan Express.
Where's the best?
Well, they closed down.
Obviously, they weren't the best.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Shangchaw?
Yeah.
Changshaw sucks.
Yeah, if you wanted some hair in your food, that's a great place to
What is the big... Everybody has hair. You just pull it out. Macy the other day, she was like...
on my tongue.
Macy the other day, she's like, are you not going to eat that? And I was like... or she's like, are you going to eat that? And I was like... Yeah, I pulled the hair out and threw it on the ground or whatever. And she's like,
whose hair was it? Was it at a restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, it doesn't bother me. I was like, it ain't worse.
I don't know. I get that everybody's got hair and it is gonna happen, but hair does. But I'm not gonna like make a big deal out of it. But I just probably won't eat that piece.
I mean, like if I'm in the school lunch and I turn around and my friggin' lunch lady's like picking her nose and stuff and getting like nose hairs or whatever in my food, it's like, I won't eat that. But we got some good looking lunch ladies at our school. Okay. Anyway, so what is the hiring process? How do you know when to hire and which position to hire as you grow? Like a hiring map. Like you hired 2 laborers to a manager. You know when do you hire for like office managers? Like when do you hire for a bookkeeper? Like what point do you grow? Because I don't want to. Like right now, I have 5 guys, and I'm fixing to hire. I'm fixing to hire 3 more. So I'm gonna get 2 new guys for a mowing crew because we're starting another mowing crew, and I'm going to hire another laborer for our landscape hardscape crew. 3 guys is a big hire. I mean, that's a lot of guys. So where do I put my leads at, or how do I control? Because obviously I can't control 8 guys and do this and do this and do that. So I want to be able to delegate, but know when to delegate. Like at what point?
Have they told you their revenue? Like,
yes.
We haven't.
Yeah, are these questions that have been answered already?
No, these are not. Last year they did like $25 million, but since they bought 3 more, or they got 3 more locations, plus whatever they did last year, I don't know where they're at. Like for 2022.
Yeah.
So, and they cover almost the whole state of Florida, and they're pretty legit. Like they're literally all over the state of Florida.
That's got to be a great place to go. Start a mowing business, I would think. And Mitchell's taking another bathroom break here, so.
That's all right. I think it's getting close to. It's been 2 hours now.
Has it?
Getting there.
Well, I got a question I want to ask him when he gets back.
Good.
So.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned here. I think it's went pretty well so far, anyways. Better than our other ones, for sure.
3.
Yeah, this is the first one with our new microphones, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how do you guys like it? You want a little ASMR?
I don't know.
You know what ASMR is?
No.
It's those videos where people like. There's some people who like they love to hear like the texture sound of things, so they'll put headphones on and they'll listen to things where they're like touching things in certain ways and like
I can see like soda
or like
fizzing or
scratching on stuff or like doing weird things like that. It's meant to sound like real nice up against your ears or something. I don't know.
Talking about the side effects of doing math.
ASMR. We
Okay.
did talk about that earlier today.
So
ASMR is my initials.
we're at 2 hours. Is that what you said we're at?
Roughly.
Okay,
We're not
so
quite.
We probably ought to end this. What?
Yeah, I don't know how long my
Like
wireless
on a
earbuds will
different day or
last.
something?
Yeah.
Okay, Mitchell said he'd come back, so we might have him on later.
Mitchell Roberts, Part 2.
Yeah.
Look out for that title on YouTube.
But I had one question for you. You said you've been wanting to do a podcast. Honestly, these were like $60 a piece.
No, I thought they were like $39 a piece.
The order was like $261 for 4 of them. So with tax or whatever.
And they're good. They're just USB too. They plugged into the computer.
That's pretty sweet.
Well,
I mean, that was a nightmare, but
I bought lights too. I got big lights coming.
maybe I'll come out with like a teachable course on how to set it up for you, and I'll sell it to you.
I just think you should do this, and the only reason we're doing it is because this is a huge leverage opportunity.
And you can talk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I keep telling him that. I'm like,
And that's what it's
you
all
would
about.
blow up because you got this big personality that people like to listen to.
Today is like the first time that I don't feel awkward at all sitting in front of the camera.
Yeah, it's kind of going.
The
away.
other two ones, we get on and we're like giggling for the first 10 minutes.
But it also helps. Like right now. That's just a light over there. I've been like angled this way the whole time, and this kind of helps.
When I did my my TV interview and stuff, like I've done 2 or 3 of them, and
Make a description.
they're just like sitting there and like moving. They're just like moving around, or they're like all right, perfect. Say the script, go Kelly, whatever. And it's like I'm just sitting there like
They figured it out to a T how to do it all. I guess
there was this. They were filming our commercial, and Dylan was mowing or whatever. The blades weren't even on. He was just mowing, and the guy was like walking backwards, and Dylan was coming towards him.
Like KY3 or what?
Yeah.
Was it Color 10 or
They were
Yeah,
filming
Color
him
10.
mowing.
they come out and filmed it.
Oh yeah,
Really?
Yeah, have you not seen our commercials?
I saw it. I figured
it's
you.
I saw
been
it on
our-
TV. I was at my parents' house sitting on the couch, and I was like,
I know that guy.
What the hell?"
It's famous.
He was like walking backwards, and I was there talking to my media director Brian, and we're just like when I was explaining everything else I want filmed, and he was walking backwards. There were some boulders in the yard, and he just hit those and just ate shit.
Oh,
And I was
really?
like, oh damn.
That camera looks expensive.
And then Dylan was like running the seeder because we were like advertising aeration and overseed, and so he was running the seeder. And no seed was coming out. The guy was like getting really close, just like to catch that seed coming out. I'm like, Dylan, turn the seed, like make the seed come out. What are you doing? And I was like, he's like, well, I've already done the whole yard. And I was like, did you do it like the same setting you were on? He's like, yeah. I was like, you literally did put no seed down. He's like, oh, I didn't really realize that. And I was like, well, this one's like super touchy. So like for everybody out there, don't think he's like we're idiots or anything, but like it's really touchy. It's like an $800 freaking seed spreader.
Really?
Yeah, but I bought it for $100 from Jerry. So he's an older gentleman, goes to church with me. He had it for a couple years or
So
whatever.
you screwed the old man. Is that what you're saying?
No, he priced it to me.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
Before you leave here,
Okay.
I'm gonna try and sell you on advertising on our next podcast.
Okay.
Okay, $150 for what do you think? 30 seconds.
Well, what's the format? Like a
Just like he's gonna give us
Like a
make
banner
list of
ad?
what you would want now,
or you want a host read ad?
read it. We'll put up your logo and phone number on screen, right?
Mitchell, what is it you want out of your business?
Hey, let me finish my question.
Oh, sorry. This is how you sell.
No. So I'm gonna try and sell you on that because the next guest we got coming on. Not saying he's my idol or anything, but he's got a lot of followers, and I really think it's going to jump after that. So if you wanted to be our first sponsor, I think it'd be an awesome thing. And
So
we'll have you on again.
So what kind of benefits am I getting for that?
Well, you'll get our next guy coming on. He's got 160,000 followers. Okay, he's going to do a live, and he's going to post all of this stuff on his TikTok. What would it cost you on your KY3 ad to get in front of 160,000 people with 20 million likes? You realize there's only 6 million people in
But
Missouri.
what are those people in California and Texas and everywhere? But they're
You're thinking too small. Don't you want to grow this thing? You said you wanted to grow this thing.
Yeah, you said you were looking to franchise.
Yeah, sure. And that is true.
So you got to think big. $150,
$150.
and you get in front of
It may not-
potentially 20 million people.
It may not be 5 years from now, but somebody in Kansas, somebody in Nebraska, somebody in Florida will be like, "Oh, I heard that about that name one time. Must have been on a podcast, last year or something."
And technically, it's only $75 because we already did an ad for you during this episode, so it'll be $75 more for the next episode, and you get in front of a ton of people.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll do it for 125.
Nope, 150. I was gonna say.
If anybody
200.
knows Cody, he will never go down on his price until he absolutely needs to know. I bought a truck for him one time for $2,500.
I was moving that day. Like I just.
Did you buy that Ford?
Yeah.
You still got it?
Whoa,
technically.
distracted.
Sorry, yeah. I forgot about that.
I want to
You get
hear.
in front of
I
all
want to
these
hear. I want to
customers.
hear Matt sell it to me.
150. No, I already sold it to you.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
done.
saying.
So yeah,
150. So I gotta
that's
give
the
you.
cheapest.
I gotta give
ever.
you $150.
Not right now. You just agree to it. I trust you.
See, you said you want business to be done like this
And
personally,
you know
Sure.
it has to grow.
Yeah.
and this is a growth opportunity because we're going hard on growing, and you're going to help us do it by growing your business because it's
And
going to make us look good.
And we'd love to have you back on.
Yeah,
Okay.
we know you.
This is gonna get big.
It feels
We're
good to promote people who are doing good business.
Yeah. No, I get
Say
it.
yes. Say yes. Say yes.
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right, cool. What's that? The Office. He's like, buy it now. Buy it. That
Yeah.
car or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll treat you good. So if you want to make like a thing you want us to read off or
Yeah.
whatever that.
I got a banner for the lawn and
Sure.
garden deal.
Well,
Do we have a problem with that?
I don't think it's going to look. We're going to be able to.
No,
do
it
that
wouldn't
very
probably
well.
look good on here.
I'm just saying.
We'll take
write
a
an
picture
ad
of it.
copy. You know what ad copy is? Yeah, that's you.
No.
It's just like a script basically for an advertisement
Well, I
that
got
we would
my.
read out.
You can use my.
I'll even write
my
one for you,
media.
to be
My
honest.
media director. I have all.
I got
those
an
on
AI
there.
that'll do it for me. Don't worry.
Tell you what, that's value we'll add. We'll write it for you if you like it. We'll,
Yeah, and
we'll
I'll
use it.
show it to you and then see if you like it, and then we'll read it for you and
You
promote
can
it.
look at. It's either. I think it's on my Facebook, or I'll look through my emails with Brian. He literally went there and redone all my logos, everything. Like they're nice.
I'll have it to you by Monday, just to reapprove it.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, I guess we're gonna do it on Sunday, aren't we? So I'll have it to you tomorrow.
We'll get it tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll get
Forget about that.
Yep. But all right, let's just keep the video rolling. We'll take a picture with the video, and then we can like go through it. And,
Yeah, Mitchell, use
and
your
pick
phone.
that.
For what?
We're gonna take a picture.
Well, let's do it.
Oh,
We can
I
do
guess,
that,
yeah,
but
that'll
let's
work.
do it in front because
I don't
you
know
can
if
always.
we'll be able to see it from.
Whenever you take a picture, it's always like somebody's got their eyes closed or something. But if it's a video, you can
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, I don't know what's in frame.
All right, guys.
To be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah. Peace. Oh wait, Mitchell. Do you know?
Don't have no mo. Oh,
Edit
that out. Don't have mo worries.
Yeah.
No mo worries.